What is up, guys? I see Frank. It's funny, Frank, as I was just getting ready to throw a fit because I was trying to post something on Strava and it was like having issues. I don't know if it was me or if it was the app. So it looked like it might be the app. What's going on, guys? I'm not muted. Welcome to episode 21 of the Motivation Theory Run Club. I am John. I will be driving this ship with you all today. Same issue. See, yeah, everything was hanging. I don't know. I upped the. See what's going on, Amy, Tim, Frank. What's going on? Recycle on Wednesday. What's going on, everybody? I upped the quality of the video, kept it on low latency, so you probably can't hear, but my laptop is humming in the background trying to keep up. So I'm hoping that the playback on this will be a little bit better quality. So, all right. Give it a couple minutes here while everybody piles in. How's everyone doing? So we are Tuesday. It feels later in the week. It literally feels like it's Thursday or Friday to me. I don't know why, but it's been a long week already. Hope everyone's doing okay. I'm doing good. I'm 2 weeks back in off my layoff. 31 miles the last couple weeks. Extremely happy with that. Battling the heat, like I'm sure a lot of you are. Frank said, "Sir, is Strava down?" And he said it just came back up. Yeah, I saw that. Hello, Recycle on Wednesday. Frank said, "Still weirdly slow." Maybe I'm slowing it down. Maybe that's what it was. What's up? Tim says, "Hello, all." Hello, Tim. You were having the same issue. Hey, Amy, good to see you. Amy Perrin said, "Been in the mountains and just getting back to reality." Wow. Were you running out in the mountains? I would love to be in the mountains right now. I would love to have some cool, crisp mountain air, some cool, crisp mountain running. Oh, man. I'm ready to get done with this heat. Now, I'm typically someone who loves running in the heat. Like, it doesn't bother me a lot, but it's really getting to the point where I'm getting over it. I'm over it. It is kicking my rear every day I run in it. The only thing that really gets me through it is kind of just thinking, well, you know what? I'm going to be that much better on the other side of this. And every year I go through the same thing. At first I kind of like it, I like sweating it out, feeling good, and then it just starts to get old. I'm burnt out on the treadmill with the squeak in, and it's getting hard. So I'm getting to the point where I'm trying to mix things up. So I've been running pretty consistently for coming back off my layoff for what month are we in? Eight months now. So I'm looking for ways of trying to change things up a little bit. Let me see who we got all in here right now. We got Amy, Frank, Cycle on Wednesday, Tim, Posner 2. Welcome. Posner 2's been crushing it. Had a great week. 50-something miles this last week, I believe. Ranking right up there. I have not been shooting for the top on the Motivation Theory Run Club list. Man, we have some people just throwing down some mileage out there. So I haven't been able to keep up with everybody. But I'm hoping to hit 40 miles this week. We'll see what happens. Hoping that I get my run in today. I've been taking off at least 2 to 3 days a week, and I'm liking that. I'm running like 2 10-milers and like a 7-miler and a 6-miler. I'm kind of comfortable with that. I've been kind of enjoying that. So one of the topics I wanted to talk about today, if you just kind of jump in, and again, you guys can post questions, chat amongst yourselves. Any topic, any question is always open here. But I'd seen some posts, and I don't know where I saw this. I don't know if it was an article where there was some people kind of complaining. It might have been Facebook. I don't know. I can't remember. Remember, it's been a long week for me already on Tuesday. About some brick and mortar races coming out with going fully virtual and charging full price and kind of bending people the wrong way, or rubbing people the wrong way. And I started thinking about that because, we've discussed it ad nauseum here about virtual races, whether or not you should support these races that have supported us for so many years. They're supporting all of the folks who support the races, the t-shirts, the people who all do all the printing and advertising. All those folks are hurting also because all of the races are being canceled. But then I started seeing the posts come across where people kind of get angry where these big races are canceling, or the in-person race, and then they're putting on a virtual race but charging the same amount, which I think most people are fine with running a virtual if it's a reduced cost, just because, you know, if you're doing one thing virtually and one thing in person, obviously the in-person is gonna cost a little more. Now we all know that there's the tchotchkes, the bibs, the shirts, the medals and things like that have a cost to them, but they're not the full cost of the brick and mortar races. Positive, he said, good to make it, Chad. It's good to see you. Welcome, John. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. John says, hello, everyone. Positive, he said, yep, thanks. Taking it easy this week. Yeah, it's good. It's good to have that cyclical, hard efforts, easy effort, hard efforts. You know, I do the same thing. I usually put it together maybe 2 hard weeks back to back, and then I go through like an easy week. I've done that for a very long time. It's kind of worked well for me. Frank says, I don't mind if it is for a charity and the extra money goes in the charity, I guess. Yeah, so that's kind of what I wanted to kind of poke at a little bit and discuss. So I kind of took some notes here as I was thinking through this stuff. Let me pull up my notes right now. So we all know that the regular races, the races that have been around for a long time, are going partially virtual or fully virtual, and then you have a lot of these pop-up races that are just taking advantage of the virtual aspect. And I think, you know, they've always been around. I've known about them for years, but now they're really getting a lot more traffic. And I recently did one. So with, you know, the video I just posted earlier this week or last week, end of last week, that I did with my daughter, the Warrior Women 5K. And I think they do. It's a site that does all kinds of different races, has all kinds of different medals. So that whole ecosystem is different than a real race, about how it's supported. I don't even know if they actually put on real races, but I do think it's kind of cool. It allowed my daughter to do her first 5K. It gave a pretty cool medal, a bib. The only thing it didn't have was a t-shirt. I need to actually go back and check. She was actually upset she didn't get this shirt. But anyways, what was my point? So all these things are popping up all over the place. So I think, you know, as I don't know how long this is going to go on, but people are seeing this virtual aspect of this racing pop up online, and I'm not sure how it's going to affect things. I worry about those because if there's certain companies based on that, I could see when races come back, those things are going to kind of die down. Who knows if they'll try to become, you know, in-person races? I'm not sure, because we're basically paying for virtually just the medals, the bibs, and the shirts if you're getting that stuff. And one of the things I thought of, and Frank touched on it, is, you know, if it's part of a charity, do you care? And what percentage do you think you should be paying? The Marine Corps Marathon, I got to defer the full price, which was probably well over $200, I think. Probably right around $200 with the bib delivery and all that stuff. But they charged, I think, $40, and if anybody else signed up, $40, I think, to do the virtual, which was fine. And they'll send you the medal and everything like that this year, and I think that's a fair price. I think, you know, $40 enough to cover a shirt and a medal is good. But if it's a charity, if you know that you're going to be getting your standard stuff, and I know not everybody cares about medals and T-shirts. I like the T-shirts. That's like my favorite thing, the race shirts, because basically almost all my shirts are from races, except for the occasional ones. Like Mizuno sent me this one. My wife has bought me some. But if it was part of I agree with Frank, if it was part of a charity, I'd probably be a little bit cooler with them charging a little bit more. Because I know a lot of races do give a portion of their funds towards charities and things like that. But, you know, charging $150, $160 for a virtual race is just crazy. And I wish I could remember the article, so I would bring it up, or at least where I saw it. It was something ridiculous, like $130 for a virtual race, and that kind of just lit everyone on fire. Amy says it's freezing here, LOL. And yes, and biking. Oh, that would be beautiful. Amy says I'm on the Pacific Beach, cold here, 60s. Oh wow, that's really cold. Holy smokes. John said, great video with you and your daughter. That was a pretty cool medal with the stabbing action. Yeah. Actually, the funny thing is, I bought that. I registered for her that, registered her for that probably a month and a half ago. She started running, and I didn't really talk just to keep the video shorter. I wanted to I was going to bring it up in this, but like, she started running on her own. My kids have seen me run. I've never forced them to run. I've never told them they should run. Just kind of been an example of it. And so, she's 17, and she wanted to kind of get in shape and lose some weight during this whole pandemic thing. And she did. She started back in January, kind of figuring all that out and running and just kind of doing it all on her own. I would give her some suggestions as much as a 17-year-old, because I don't know anything about anything, so she's only going to listen to me so much. But I was very proud of her, and that she was sticking with it, because again, getting into running and staying with it is not easy when you're doing it by yourself. And again, she did this by herself. I've never run with her before. She ran on the treadmill, she ran outside. We're just completely on two different training programs, so it didn't really come into play that we would run together. And I've been meaning to for a while, talking about taking her on a trail. She wants to go on the trails, but I registered for her for that race because I was proud of her, and I wanted her to kind of have something kind of culminate all of the training she's done. And she still does it. She runs every day. She doesn't listen to me. I try to tell her to take breaks. I think she takes maybe one day off a week, reluctantly. And she's pushing her distance from 3 to 5. She's running probably 5 miles once or twice a week. So, she's getting there. So I'm super proud of her. And she had a really cool medal with that stabbing action with the warrior princess on the front. Completely lost my train of thought. But thank you, John. I appreciate it. That was a cool video. That was, for me, for those of you who don't know, this channel, as it started off with running, I morphed into kind of, just like Kafuzi and Seth James DeMore, I kind of did family vlogging for a long time. So my family was a large part of what we did on the channel when it was the shenanigans. And I do have that channel. I started a new one to kind of hold that stuff. But it was really cool to kind of do something. So a lot of the people who had been around since back when we were doing family vlogging and stuff, they found that kind of cool to kind of see one of my kids in a video, which I've kind of avoided on this channel now. So I'm kind of looking at the things that would allow them to charge full price, because I'm starting to worry about how long this is going to drag on for a lot of places, because the local governments are controlling this. So if you have places that are going to start, because I'm hearing through my work and everything that this stuff could go on for another 12 to 18 months, and that means a lot of race cancellations if they're not going to start moving towards opening things up. And races are going to try to survive, so they're going to do what they need to do. And if they start charging full prices to do these virtually, it makes me wonder if it's going to leave a bad taste in people's mouths. So, one of the things that would allow it would be for them to give to charity. That's one of the things. And I'm trying to think about other things. I can't really think about anything else that would make me want to pay full price. And you guys know I'm an advocate for supporting the businesses and all of that, but for it to be the same price as an in-person one, I know there's a lot of fees that are in person you're not having virtually. So I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Because I'm pretty sure people are going to get burnt out on virtual races, because medals and T-shirts are only so cool. We're going to want to, if we're just going to be running to run, we're probably going to start to veer away from doing a lot of virtual stuff. Maybe we'll start traveling. Maybe people will start traveling to other places to run races that are opening up in other areas. Not that people don't already travel, but you know what I mean. I like doing a lot of local. I don't do a ton of flying. I don't think I've never flown, and I've never driven more than probably 2 hours to a race ever, which is weird and kind of sad, because there's so many cool races around the world. Oh, and the other thing is, so does it change your mind if there's a competitive aspect to it? So if you're somebody who wants to have be in a legit virtual race where they're actually taking in proof, they're verifying times and stuff like that, doing age graded categories and things like that, would you pay full price then? because they're having to pay for a company, I think, to kind of organize all of it. The one I did there for my daughter wasn't like that. The one for her was like, you literally, to say I want this, they send you a bib and a medal, and you just kind of do it on your own, and there's no way of tracking it. You don't submit it back for rankings or awards or anything like that. Let me pop this out, the chat. Whoa. All right, let me go and catch up in here. Positive 2 said, I'm happy to be building up my base to delay racing this year to hit it harder next year. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. So at the beginning of the year, I was really trying to push myself to stay motivated to run in the 24-hour race, which I've talked about in the past. I was going to be severely undertrained to do a 24-hour race. It would have smoked me pretty good, but it was giving me something to work towards, which I really needed. But I've also enjoyed that there hasn't been the added pressure of racing because I've been able to help build my base back up again. And I think Positive 2 has got a perfect, I don't want to say excuse, but idea around a way of looking at things, perspective that is, for dealing with all of this. And we're all getting a year to basically build our base, maybe do some different training plans we wouldn't normally try. I'm getting a lot more base building this year because I would have already ran several races, which I would have gone through several other iterations and not been able to run as much as I wanted to. So it's kind of worked out. I've actually kind of enjoyed this. As much as I hate things being canceled, I've kind of enjoyed the lack of races just because it's not putting that added pressure on me. But it would have given me more content to do if I had races. Tim, you guys said, I have done a few virtual races, but not paid more than $40 or $50. I find they keep me focused on training, and it is fun to have a few friends join in. Yeah, that is kind of the cool aspect of it. I don't either. I do enjoy this way. I mean, I enjoy getting the medals. I enjoy the shirts. That's kind of cool, and as long as the price is okay, like I did that virtual 50K, or I ran it on the treadmill, and I think it was, I don't know, $30, and I got that cool hoodie pullover from Athletic Equation. I mean, that alone was worth it to me, and so I find it kind of cool. I mean, I like getting something back out of it, so I don't really have a huge problem with it. And he's, again, trying to just keep, an Athletic Equation, just trying to keep the support going for all of the companies that are there for him and his race company. Amy Perriman said, do they actually track the same race path, virtual races? I mean, hey Bennett, what's going on? No. So basically in a virtual race, Amy, everyone from pretty much anywhere around the world just goes and runs the distance, records their time. Some races will actually have a site where you could submit your time and there's a spectrum. So some people just actually submit the time, and then there's places where you have to verify, where you actually have to send them a link to, like, maybe your Strava post for ones that are having something that's competitive, where they're actually having awards and things like that. I think Seth James Moore had his global run, and everyone submitted their times, and they actually went through and kind of verified the stuff, and they had awards and stuff like that. So so there's a huge spectrum of kind of semi or really informal, where you just get a medal and a shirt and a bib, and you just run it on your own around your house, your neighborhood, or wherever you want to, and that's it. That's all. You just do it on your own, and those have been around for years, so that's nothing new. But I think there's an aspect now that is actually racing. People are actually doing some racing. We've seen it in the big backyard ultra, where they actually had people have to stay on camera the whole time, whether or not you're running on a treadmill. They had all kinds of rules where you couldn't, you had to be at a certain area. They're definitely developing. There's a necessity now, so I think they're being creative in how they're doing some of these virtual races. But no, they're not all running the same track. They could, if you wanted to run with a friend, you could. And I'm sure there are people that sign up for these races and then they go run them together with friends. Bennett Marks, what's going on, guy? I'm doing good. It's a busy week so far, and I'm enjoying it. just kind of hanging out. I've been very productive for the last week, so I'm excited about that. Arlene M said, I'm tired of virtuals. Yeah, they are getting kind of old. I ran one I didn't ever register for. I was a bandit in a virtual race. How many of you can say you did that? The one I paced my daughter in that, and not the last video. I released a video earlier today on my week 30 update. I kind of talk about the Maffetone method of training that I've been kind of doing for many years. Yeah, but the video before that was the video I did with my daughter and her first 5K. I didn't register myself for it, but that was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was a 5K, and she did really well, and I was super proud of her. But yeah, I didn't register; just registered her for it. Now I got to go out and try to find a shirt. I think they have shirts. I'm not sure. I didn't see them. It would make her happy to get a shirt for it. And she just texted me earlier. She said, can one of you come up, talk to my wife and I, come up and get my Apple Watch and go home and put it on the charger, because she told me she couldn't run if her watch was not charged. Crazy. Amy said, it will all magically end November 4th. Just saying. I don't disagree, Amy. I think, I think after the election, all of the hysteria is going to go away. I think it's pretty evident that a lot of this is, not that it's not real. I think COVID is real, but I do think there's a lot of hype around this, and it's all having to do with the election. I don't disagree with that. John said, I hope you're right, Amy. Yeah. And welcome to the stream, Arlene, John, West Virginia running, Don, Bennett, Amy, everybody, Tim. If I've missed anybody, I don't think I've missed anybody. Posner 2's already been in here. And Mickey. So, what would Don say? Let me read. Don said, I've done a few virtual races this year that wanted virtual results from online apps. My Morgantown Marathon was canceled, but I haven't heard a virtual option yet. Yeah, I think some of them actually do want the results for actual placement, because they probably do have prizes and stuff like that, so they want some actual proof. And I think that's kind of cool. I mean, I'm not completely against that. And now, not that I don't think people can't game the system somehow like that, like 5Ks. You know, I think Seth James Moore had something that happened where there was some legitimate college runners, but that were running, national record pace, where they might have been pausing the watch and walking back up to the top of the hill and running down again. Like, there's some silliness that people can do with your watches, but it is what it is. Mickey said, hi everyone. Hello, Mickey. Arlene M says it's going to mess up records. What records are you talking about, like the race record? I don't know if they'll actually be legitimate records. So I don't think, personally, if I was king for a day, I wouldn't believe that any times from any virtual races would actually count towards any kind of records. I don't think so. I don't think that would work. I mean, I think only runs on the official course would actually count towards the records for that. And that might not be what you're talking about, but if it is, I don't think that would actually happen. Frank said, 170,000 dead people is hype. No, I don't believe that is hype at all. We're talking about the hysteria around it. I mean, if you start matching the numbers up around the world with all the other things that kill people, I think that's probably what most people are assuming you don't see a lot of. So even with the flu, cancer and lots of other things. So no one's saying it's the actual COVID thing is hype. We think that there are people that are using it one way or the other, good or bad. Sasha Forbes says, off topic, but sad outcome for Courtney. Yeah, I wanted to bring that up. So for those of you who are following Courtney, I saw she DNF'd her own race. Was she run like 500 miles? Correct me if I'm wrong, or not 500, 300 miles. So I think she ran 300 of her 500 miles, and she had I was reading the article and I can't remember what happened to her, but she's like my hero. I mean, she, out of all runners, she's probably my favorite ultra runner. She is just such a cool, inspirational person. She's so unassuming, and she just seems like a really genuinely nice person. But I'm sad for her because, can you imagine running 300 miles and that being kind of a failure on what your goal was? That's what a phenomenal athlete she is, and that's crazy. I can't even imagine. So when I saw the article, and I kind of read through it really late last night, so I can't even remember what happened. I know she went to the hospital, and she had to drop out, but I don't know if anybody else has DNF. I've never DNF'd in a race, but I can't imagine the effort and the coordination it took to do that run. I mean, just to get 300 miles and to do it again. Is she going to be going back? Because she's won, everything that's significant. She's been so successful in what she does, and I think, she's setting these bigger and bigger goals, and to run the 500 miles, and I forget what she was actually running. I can't remember the name, but to make 300 miles of it, is she going to come back from that and try it again? I think mentally that's just a lot to swallow. I wonder how long it's going to take her to process that and to kind of heal up and to maybe reassess and see if she's going to do it again. It's crazy. She's just an absolute beast. Amy said, I did not see her results. Yeah, I need to go back and see what happened to her. Acute bronchitis. Yes, that's what it was. Thank you, Amy. I completely was slipping my mind. Stopped her run. So she was having some issues, and she had some bronchitis, and I think they said that was either brought on by the heat or the dust and stuff like that. It's crazy. Something like that took her out. And it's so sad. 300 miles. Bennett Mark said, I can barely do 4 on a good day. Amy said, I would do a race if it were competitive and tracked and pay full price. Yeah, I think I would too. If I was going to do it, and I'd probably do a shorter race. I'm not sure. As long as I felt good about, the legitimacy of it, I think it would be fun. I think it'd definitely be fun to be competitive and do a virtual race. Yeah, so the whole Courtney thing, I almost want to have a whole live chat just on her. She is so interesting to me as an ultra runner. She, I've read in the past that, when it comes to men and women in sports, the competitiveness really and the performance really starts to get equaled out the further and further you run. And actually, I've heard that the further and further you run, women actually become more efficient. And so I think in this evolution, which I find super just kind of cool. I'm a father of 4 girls, so I point these things out to my girls because I always want them to see what they can achieve, and I like showing them people who do super extraordinary things. And she is somebody who I think is the next evolution of kind of inspiring young women to go into that running and go into distance running, and specifically ultra marathons. And I think she's just showing you what can be done. I just find her fascinating. I just really do. And because she's so consistently good, it's crazy. You can tell I'm fanboying over it. I think she's just awesome. I would love to interview her too. That's definitely one of the people I want to interview. Yeah, Kelly said, I just signed up for a challenge. Welcome to the stream, Kelly. And look, I got my hair cut. For those of you, I'm shocked no one said anything yet. I got my COVID hair cut off. It's been 6 months, so it's all gone. Kelly said, I just signed up for a challenge at the UTMB. Money goes to environmental causes. See, that's what we're talking about, Kelly. So that to me, if somebody puts on a virtual race, and the virtual race would be $40, and then they want to charge $100 because a large portion of that would then be going to a good cause, I'm down for that. I would actually get on board for that. Amy said that does not diminish the lives lost. Absolutely not. So just to kind of circle back, so I don't want to ruffle anybody's feathers. You know, if you guys know me, you know that I'm a caring person. Saying someone's using an event in a negative way doesn't diminish or delegitimize the actual event. It's just saying people are using it. Every life lost, I know lots of people that have had COVID. I know people who have healed up. I know people that have lost people because of it. It's a real thing. I don't like people taking advantage of other people for those events. It just irritates me. So absolutely, 100%, that does not diminish that or anything like that. And you know, there's a huge spectrum of people. So like me, I'm super protective of my family. You know, we've done the quarantine thing. We wear the mask. We wash our hands. We don't take. We haven't gone on vacation. We haven't done a lot of things to kind of just keep her safe, and not just keep us safe, but keep others safe. And I'm completely been on board with all that. But there's people, like just take for instance. So you have that end of the spectrum, what we're doing. Then I'll be outside running down a path that's 12 feet wide. You know, almost the width of a road, and there's people walking. It's 100 degrees outside. 3 people walking. You know, this happens to me every day when I run. They're wearing masks outside, mind you. No one's around, and I'm running down this path. They're not going to come within 15 feet of me. They almost walk out into the actual road and turn their backs when and I'll slow down just so they don't accidentally get some wind from me from 15 feet. Like, they're overdoing it. Like, there's no reason to be doing that. I think that's not rational to act that way. So I think that is overacting. There are some. Go catch up here. But who am I to judge? You know, people do what they feel safe. I mean, everybody takes their own precautions, and you know, whatever. But it's definitely messing up school. It's definitely messing up a lot. You know, it's been affected. You know, things for my work, schools. You know, we're heavily affected by all of this. So, and I'm really worried about the businesses. Eventually, at some point, there's got to be something done, or we're going to hit a major recession or a collapse, financially. Because you can't keep printing money. That's the other thing. You can't keep printing money, you know, to give to people. At some point, the bill's got to be paid. Posture 2 said, I really need to start strength training, increase mileage paces, long runs are all recipe for injury waiting to happen for me if I continue to neglect strength training. Yeah, I'm right there with you, Posture 2. So there's a lot of things that I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be more consistent with my strength training. The exercises I showed you guys with the knees, that's what I'm trying to do, is strengthen. I sense that I have weaknesses in my core and my glutes. I don't know why. I see a breakdown sometimes when I'm running long distances where I start to sit. You know, I'm sure you guys have all heard where you sit in a chair and you kind of have the pelvic tilt. I'm trying to correct that. So there's a lot of stuff I need to be doing there too, which this is a good time when we're not racing. Positive 2 said, okay, let me look it up here. Kelly said, Positive 2, look up Vlad Ixel. He is awesome. 15-minute workouts for strength and mobility, not just boring lunges and squats. That's funny. Let me go back up here. I missed some. Amy said, Courtney ran 300 miles of 468 before stopping. Yeah, that's just crazy. I can't even imagine. Cannot even imagine. Recycle on Wednesday said, I'm glad Courtney got the medical care she needed. That's so scary. Yeah, I mean, somebody being as tough as she is and putting herself through that, I mean, I could see it being very, her very easily pushing through and overlooking something like that, because you're putting on so much. I mean, there's so many people coordinating this. It's been advertised. To make that call, I'm glad she had, I'm not saying she's not smart. I'm sure she probably knew this needs to be looked at, but I'm glad she surrounded herself with some really good people that looked after her and didn't try to push her through anything she shouldn't be pushing through. So I think that's fantastic. She got really good people around her. Kelly said, Positive 2, okay, I read that. Positive 2 said, I'll check it out. And Mark said, remember when people in Florida went to the beach for spring break? Yep, a lot of people living their life. Kelly said, just remember you don't know their story. Are they diabetic, organ transplant recipients, cancer survivors, or do they live with one white what some might shake off could be absolutely deadly to them. Absolutely, Kelly. And so I try to have some understanding. I mean, it doesn't bother me. I'm just trying to explain the reaction to things. So there's a whole different set of circumstances for everybody. That's the hard part. I mean, if you guys have ever been in a group of 10 people and tried to like go out to eat, it's hard to get that amount of people to even coordinate and agree on where to go get something to eat. When you have millions of people at stake and trying to agree on something like this, like you have people that care about their businesses collapsing. You have some people that don't have jobs and because of this. You have some people that live alone and they don't have anybody else to worry about. So there's a lot of people that are suffering. So a lot of the rules being, erring on the side of extreme caution is causing a lot of other people extreme pain in other areas. So it's a difficult situation. I mean, believe me, there's no easy answer to any of this. And I definitely don't want to go off on this. This is not fun stuff to talk about. I'm sure I'm going to have a bunch of people unsubscribe now. We can all have our own opinions. Differing opinions are more than welcome here on my channel. I love it. That's what makes everything good. Diversity of thought and of people is always good. All right, so where are we at? Amy said she is a beast. $100 says she'll do it again. Yeah, I think she will. And that just is crazy to me. I just can't imagine what it would take to kind of regroup and come back from that. It's crazy. Positive, she said, I've been running on the track just to avoid all the walkers in my neighborhood, as I see a lot of the overreaction as well. In fairness, I'm not wearing a mask when I run. I don't either. I do not wear a mask when I run. But I also make sure that I avoid people. So if there's somebody walking down the sidewalk, or if there's another runner running down the sidewalk, I will go 10 feet away. I will distance myself. I'm not that worried about running by them. I don't think that all of a sudden I'm just going to absolutely pick something up running by someone 3, 4, 5 feet away. I just don't think that was going to happen. But I try to respect everyone else. And dog walkers, people walking their kids, families out walking. I try to do the best I can to respect everyone's space right now. So. Kelly said, I totally agree, Amy. Recycle on Wednesday, my IT guru, even else. Amy said you should do a live interview. Yeah, so there is. I've been playing with that, and Kelly had asked me that, or suggested that I do an interview, and I hope it happens. That'd be kind of cool. I have practiced with loading Skype into the software that I use and streaming that. And you take basically 2 different streams into Streamlabs, and I could do it that way. I'm gonna have to practice it because that would be cool, and I've seen a lot of people do it, so I should be able to do it. I would love. I actually thought about reaching out to Courtney, because I've seen her do a lot of interviews with people, and she seems to be very open to that kind of stuff. I would reach out now, because she's probably going to have a lot of larger channels and legitimate running media reaching out to her now. But down in the future, I'd love to talk with her, because I have a lot of questions that I don't see asked that I would like to ask her. So I think it would be pretty cool. And there's a bunch of other people. I've actually texted back and forth with Kafusi about trying to interview him, and he agreed to do it a long time ago. I just haven't coordinated it yet. That's on me. Just not figuring out the technology to do it. Recycle on Wednesday says he is here. Kelly said, hey you, first hello, how are you? Second, could you tell me how to find the live stream on a laptop? I'm on my phone and the laptop right now. What is going on, Kelly? What in the world? Amy said, I don't see any benefits to wearing a mask outside. Happy to do so inside. I don't either. Amy, the only time I wear a mask in public is if we're going up to get ice cream at a soft serve place, and there's a line where people are congregating, and even where people are kind of separating outside, I'll put it on then, because most people I see are wearing it, so I'm like, what, I'll do what everyone else is doing. But running is 0 chance. I mean, where I run, it's not super crowded. Now, if I was out running and I'm passing dozens and dozens and dozens of people very closely, I'd probably rethink that and I'd pull it up. But you know, where I'm running, I'm literally might pass 5 people in 10 miles, in far away from them. So I don't think about it a lot. But everyone's got a different situation where they run. So you know, I don't want people to say, well, you know, that's dumb or not dumb or whatever. I don't, you know, do what you want to do. It doesn't bother me one way or the other. I won't say it doesn't feel weird when people act like you have the plague when you're literally 20 feet away from them. And actually, yesterday I had a meeting, a training for like two hours. I had like 2 1-hour meetings, and I had a mask on the whole time, and I had to do a lot of talking. And I feel like I have bronchial issues right now. I told my wife when I got home last night, like I feel just from talking and having that mask on that it affected my lungs because of it. And I'm not somebody who complains at all. And I do feel wearing that mask for probably 5 hours yesterday, nonstop talking and doing stuff like that. I feel like it negatively affected my lungs in some way because I'm still feeling it today. It's kind of a weird. I don't know, guys. You ever ran really, really hard, like sprinted, and then like the next day you kind of feel like you kind of stretched out. I don't know, your lungs a little bit, and like that's kind of how it felt after a day of doing that. It's the first time I've actually had to talk and wear a mask that long without taking it off. Tim Hugo said, if you are subscribed, it should show up under your notification bell. Oh, okay, Kelly, you're trying to find this live stream for your laptop. If you go to my channel, if you actually search out the Motivation Theory Running channel and you go under videos, this live stream will pop up right there. Oh, and while everyone's, while I can shut up for a second and stop talking, I'll keep talking to remind everyone to make sure you smash that like button while you're in here. I don't know, I can't see. I think we got 8 likes, and we've had a lot of people come through. So please do me a favor, do me a solid, and hit that like button while you're in here. Kelly said, "Told you I'm a reject." Oh, I modded Kelly. She might delete the whole stream somehow. Kelly said, I got the stream itself up. I just have the video. I can't find the icon for the chat. Sorry, the chat is what I can't find. It should be on, if you're on the laptop. Wait, are you on a laptop? You should be able to go on the right-hand side. There should be a drop-down. I don't know. Don said, I see the same people in my small town running. Most are walking and few are running. Nobody wears a mask. Yeah, I don't see a ton of people with masks on outside, but I do see some people, and it just, like Kelly said, like you don't know everyone's story. You know, they could be battling something. They could have, you know, themselves have cancer or somebody else, and they're just, you know, they want to get outside and get exercise, but they feel like it protects them a little bit more. I think it hampers you. I think it's worse for you to be outside breathing that heavily into a mask in the heat. Just the bacteria that builds up inside a mask, I think it can cause bronchial irritation, and I think that's what it did to me. So I'm not a fan of that. I think there's a lot of bacteria that builds up inside a mask, especially when you're wearing it for hours on end. Amy said, sitting is killer. I need to make consistent effort to get up from my desk multiple times a day. Absolutely. I have a standing desk. I have one of those desks you can kind of pull up and stand at. So when I'm working, I actually stand at my desk because I sit enough. I don't need to sit anymore. Recycle on Wednesdays. Kelly, do you have the video in full screen mode? If not, you'll see the small bar that says show chat. I think it's awesome you guys are helping Kelly troubleshoot this. You got it, Kelly. I believe in you. Arlene said, I often wear a mask at work. I also feel like I get a cough after wearing it. Yeah. I don't like the feeling I have right now. It almost makes me feel like I'm getting a cold. I've been doing, like feeling like I have to clear my throat, and it is 100% from yesterday because of the mask. I could imagine running with one. There's just no way. Kelly said, Amy, I used to literally be chained to a desk for 10-hour shifts. I went part-time in November, and my health and fitness has improved drastically. Yeah, sitting it is killer. Sitting is so bad for you for long periods of time. You can probably hear my voice right now too. It sounds hoarse because I can hear it, and that's from yesterday. Recycle on Wednesday said, Kelly, when you're in theater mode, it's right below the video. Kelly said, I'm laughing hysterically. Don't joke. I could delete everything. Perfect. Right side. Right under the stupid pop-up I was ignoring. Thanks. There we go. All right. We can start back again. Kelly's back online. Thank you, Kelly. Now we can start again. We're waiting on you. Recycle on Wednesday said, I have worn a mask for years because I have asthma. Yeah, and so I remember seeing the people who have asthma and who have severe allergies wear masks outside. I just could not imagine running with one. I don't even run one in the winter. Like, my lungs don't even get bothered during the winter. When I run in sub-freezing temperatures, I won't wear one then. Sorry, cheers everyone. Got my Vienna lager. Amy said, I'll practice with you. Recycle on Wednesday said, Kelly, you got it. I just can't read. That's okay. We're all no judgment zone here. No judgments. Arlene M said, Freedom's Run Marathon in Harpers Ferry, West Virginia is still going on, not virtual. October 3rd, I'm thinking about signing up. You always find the good ones. I haven't done a ton of like searching on finding races that are still happening, because I'm tired of getting burnt on. I'm tired of the races getting canceled, and I definitely don't want to spend any more money and lose it on a race getting canceled. Kelly said, I have asthma as well. With this humidity, I honestly couldn't run with a mask. Thankfully, I live in a less populated country. Yeah, I couldn't do it either. Kelly said, holy moly, Recycle, what type of mask? Yeah, I don't know what type of mask you're running in, because that'd be difficult to breathe. Do you run in the mask all the time? I see people walk in masks, and I get that, mowing the yard in masks and things like that. I might start wearing a mask when I mow the yard, just because I have allergies to dead leaves, like the leaves that sit on the ground. It's about the only thing I'm allergic to, and some certain trees, but I can't imagine running in one, especially in this. I mean, I'm out there dying right now running, fighting to keep my heart rate down. And just so you guys know, for a quick advertisement, if you haven't seen the video, and again, I don't know if everyone has selected all notifications on my channel, so if you don't click subscribe and then the bell and all notifications, sometimes YouTube won't notify you when I release video. It'll only notify you when I release a video it thinks you'll watch. But I released a video that talks, giving you the week 29-30 update of kind of where I am with my training. And I talk a little bit about the Maffetone method that I've used, and how I kind of accidentally did it. I didn't, I've only really heard of the Maffetone method in like the last year. It was something I've done for a long time. And again, I'm only talking about the low heart rate training portion of it, not the whole aspect of the health and wellness and the eating and all of that stuff. I've not done any of that. So I kind of talk a little bit about that. And I kind of, to me, it was interesting because it was something I accidentally fell into because of the heat and humidity when I was training 8 or 9 years ago. I remember specifically, I was in the Marine Corps 17.75 race out in Prince William Park, and I was running, and my heart rate was just spiking. It was like 90 degrees, and it was the first time I'd actually seen myself go through this. Like, I could not keep my heart rate down. The hills this is where I train now, but the hills were just huge, and it got to the point where I was running up this hill, and I'm kind of jogging, and I see somebody just kind of power hike right next to me. And so I'm looking at them, and they're kind of just power hiking up the hill. And I just said, why am I still continuing to try to act like I'm running? So I just stopped, and I hiked up the hill. And I started doing that with the rest of the steep hills. And then I kind of looked into kind of low heart rate training. I'm like, you know what? it just makes sense to try to just equalize my effort and all of that stuff, and try not to hold pace all the time. So that's kind of how I got into it. I find it interesting. I'm not going to discount anything. I know that some people say you have to be fast and to race fast, you have to run fast, and I believe that's partly true. I do believe strongly in the 80-20 method. Again, that's something else I'd done in the past that I didn't adhere to any specific plan, but I do think there's a lot of legitimacy to it. Now, I don't want to take it to the extreme, like, there's elite runners that are not doing that, but, for us who are kind of mid-packers and stuff like that, I don't think there's any more benefits to running too hard all the time. It's only the downside of getting injured. All right, let me go back in here to the chat. Recycle on Wednesday said a cloth Vogue mask and sometimes doubled over bandana, also scarf in the winter because of the cold. Asthma attacks for me. I have some friends who can't run in the cold either. It really attacks their lungs a lot. Luckily it doesn't bother me. Poser2 said, love the video, my favorite running topic. Yeah, I think it's an extremely interesting and beneficial topic, so I'd probably want to unpack that a little bit more in another live stream, but it's definitely interesting to me, and I think it's something that new runners need to look into earlier and running. I think most people look into it and find it after they've injured themselves, so they've had to deal with the repercussions of running too hard too often. And so if you can get people at the beginning of their running careers to kind of buy into it, I think you kind of learn from the mistakes of others. Kelly said, JP on races. Holy smokes. They dropped something on the hardwood floor above me. Are still on September 6th in Vermont. Come on, MTRC meetup. Yeah, we need to do an MTRC meetup. That would be awesome. Recycle on Wednesday said there's this big burly dude who runs a lot. That just made me laugh. I don't know why. Who runs a lot in my neighborhood, just like super fast all the time. I think displaced gym rat. He passes me when I'm doing my walking warm-ups. That cracks me up. Yeah, I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of the guys from the gyms, and the reason is, I've been running for a very long time around here, and I don't see some of these guys. And these guys are just like jacked. They're obviously they're running, jogging with their shirts off, because why would you not have your shirt off all the time outside? But it's just funny. I can tell that they were, the gym's being closed, or getting outside, getting their cardio in. So that's why it made me laugh. Recycle on Wednesday said the other week I was out early for my workout and I was running fast and waved and said good morning. That's funny. He also said the look of shock on his face at the scrawny girl with her inhaler and pigtails running by her. That's funny. Oh, that's funny. I saw a guy, there was a guy yesterday, or what was it yesterday, what's today, Tuesday, Monday, Sunday, on my long run. He was a hulk of a guy. He was huge, just ripped. He was kind of an older guy, but he was pushing his little kid in one of his little cars with the handle on the back, and he was just like, he had that like, the power lifter walk, and it was funny. He's just walking around. He yelled something to me, and I don't know what he yelled, but he smiled, but he was probably wondering why I was an idiot running in the 90-something degree weather with the humidity as bad as it was. Kelly said, oh, sorry to go back to mask, but study just came out today saying neck gaiters, buffs, and handkerchiefs have been found to make you 10% more contagious. They apparently break big droplets into small. I saw that, and I didn't read the article because I have fatigue. I have information fatigue right now, and I just feel like there's just so much information, so much misinformation, so many agendas for the information that they're sharing and how the slant on it. So I didn't read it, but the reason that it resonated, just me seeing the title made me want to read it, was I know a guy that I work with that tested positive. He was asymptomatic, and he wears one of those. I saw him at work. Now I'm not exposed to a lot of people at work, but I was in a meeting where he was extremely far away. Again, he's 4 weeks past when he tested positive. But he wears a neck gaiter. And first off, I thought the neck gaiter looked weird when you're wearing it in a business environment, but he has one on. So now I feel like I need to send him that, saying don't wear that. Especially since we're given other kinds of masks to wear. I think some people do it out of it's just easy to go like this. Dealing with the ones behind your ears and stuff like that is a pain, but I think they're much, much better. Amy said, it's a conundrum. Protect others by wearing a mask or breathe freely. Oh, exactly. Amy said, the beer looks good. I'm inspired. Yeah, I need one. I'm actually excited about running with my new hair. It was getting so hot. It was getting to the point where I was almost like Pedro and Napoleon Dynamite, where I just was hot and I wanted to just shave my head. There was so many times I almost did it. I told my wife I was getting very, very close to shaving my head. She said, no, don't do it. So I finally broke down and went and got a haircut. Then I got lectured by the people that have cut my hair for 20-something years now that I waited so long. Arlene M. said, in ultras, I believe it's very important to work on your slow pace, power hiking pace. Absolutely, it is extremely beneficial and very important to do so. Kelly said, LOL, that's so funny, Recycle. I was picturing you as a bearded dude for some reason. Yeah, I don't... That's funny to me. You know, Kelly, I thought the same thing. So Recycle on Wednesday, I don't know, because I don't know anybody's gender unless I've seen your picture, or I can kind of guess by maybe your name. But Recycle on Wednesday, I don't know why either, but I thought you were a man in the past. So don't be offended. There's nothing bad. I thought of the same thing. I don't know why I thought you were a guy. So when I read that, I was like, wait a minute. Completely read that one wrong. That's funny. So sorry if that's what for thinking that. It's hard to tell by their names. You can't tell. Positive 2 said, I'm back and forth with MAF and Zone 2 using Kavonen formula for, I'm trying to read, for Zone 2, which is 4 beats per minute more than MAF, but those 4 extra beats make it easier to run than MAF. Yeah, it is amazing how much 4 to 5 beats matters. That's definitely a huge difference. I would never say that I am a hardcore MAF person. I just happen to fall into some of the training beliefs of that. I train a lot in Zone 2. In the heat now, I'm getting pushed into Zone 3 a lot, which I don't want to be. So when I hit Zone 3, it's not on purpose. It's because I just literally cannot take running as slow as the heat is making me have to keep my heart rate down. So I really like Zone 2. That's really where I like to live, is in Zone 2. Kelly said, hi Arlene, what's for dinner? Exactly. I don't know what I'm cooking. I cooked steak last night. I was hoping to do burgers tonight, but I don't know. We'll see. Welcome to the stream, Liam. How are you? Liam said, have you ever had to run in a mask? What do you think of it? I have never run in a mask. I think when we first started going into all of the COVID stuff, I might have run a minute here and there when I was passing people in the trails, but I don't wear a mask when I run. There's just no way I could. Arlene M, who said they wear a mask? Who said that they have allergies or asthma and they wear a mask? I thought it was Recycle on Wednesdays. Arlene M said, hi Kelly, I'm having vegan lentil pasta. How about you? Arlene, did you see in the video that the Acorn bars are going to be coming out with a vegan option? I asked them specifically about that because you always comment when I talk about nutrition and there's not a vegan option. So I said, asked them, they said they would have a vegan option. So I'm super excited. So those of you who have seen my Acorn bar review, my favorite bar, they're going to be coming out with three or four new flavors and a vegan option. So I'm super excited about that. And they're going to be sending me all of them to try in the fall when they come out with them. Kelly said you're eating vegan bratwurst. How do you eat vegan bratwurst? You know, like saying I'm eating vegan hamburger. Recycle on Wednesday says, I mean, men recycle too. You weren't to know. I know, but so for all of us, so from my side, you know, I've got to know a lot of the people because you guys come and watch me, and some of you are on Strava, and so I can actually see pictures of you. So in my mind, but when that's not filled in, your brain just fills in the gap. I'm not sure why my mind immediately just associated recycle on Wednesday as being a man, because there's nothing that we talk about that's like gender specific here that I see. But I feel bad now because I'm like, my mind, I was misgendering. I get to use one of those words. Someone who comes literally been a regular on the channel, so I feel bad that I didn't know that. But there was no way for me to, so I appreciate you being kind there, not being offended. But now I'm just picturing you as a little ponytailed woman, which is funny to me now in my mind. Not that that's funny, it's just that it's so opposite of what I thought who you were before. Kelly said, I read an article. The article I read did actually specify neck gaiter, Frank, that, wait, did I miss something Frank said? Oh, okay, yeah. Frank said the actual paper said the issue was with the neck gaiter they used was fleece. In fact, the paper never used the term neck gaiter. I think the one that I saw actually had a picture of a neck gaiter though. So I mean, maybe they just use a stock photo or something. I'm not sure. Yes, Recycle on Wednesday wears a mask to run. So they would be able to answer, she would be able to answer that question. So now I can actually say that now. Because I don't. Liam said, I have to wear a mask when I go to cross-country practice. It sucks. Oh, holy smokes. Yeah, that's tough. But you know what? If it gets you running and it allows you guys to run, I think it's worth probably putting up with what you can. You can just do what everybody else does. You just pull it down over your mouth and breathe with your nose. I sit in people with meetings that do that. Crazy. Frank said to go to the original paper from Duke. It's the one that's being cited all over about the neck gaiters. So Kelly said, oh, the original study is just being paraphrased. I hate that crap. I'll look it up. Thanks. See what I'm saying, Kelly? That's everyone. You see, that's like why I didn't click on it, because there's always some sort of something along with, depending on whoever's feeding you the information, it's getting a slant on it. Like, I like the truth. I don't want to deal with all the craziness that everyone's trying to put on stuff. Good or bad, whether I believe it, that I like it or not, I want it to be the truth. Recycle on Wednesday said, I'm sorry you're struggling with it. Do you have a choice about what mask to wear? And Frank said, the mask that did badly was actually a neck gaiter because they put a picture of all the masks they tested, but somehow the news companies picked up on that rather than the material. Yeah, because they don't, that's what I think the problem is. Most news companies don't really care about the actual. They just like to sensationalize things, what's going to get more clicks. Arlene M said, awesome. I'm looking forward to trying to get the vegan acorn bar. Lately, I've been trying a new brand, and then gels and electrolyte drink, new upcoming running brand. Oh, okay, cool. I had a really good, I like the acorn, or not the acorn, but I like the acorn, but Cliff Bars, the white chocolate macadamia nut is my favorite. Like, if I could have a sponsor, like, it would be that bar. When I get a fresh one, it is so good. It's really close up there with the acorn bar. It's not as tender, for lack of a better term, but it's so good. Kelly said Floby. Goku Runner. See, there it is. Finally, somebody, Goku Runner, commented on my hair. Thank you. I won't mention any names, but I got my hair cut yesterday, and I had, my hair was down past my nose and past my mouth. So I like it, man. I'm gonna be fast. That's probably gonna at least knock off a minute or two off my 5K. That's my guess, my guesstimate, at least. So welcome to the stream, Goku. Good to see you. Thank you for noticing, unlike some other people. Recycle on Wednesday said, if you have a choice and access to a different mask, I think it's worth trying different masks. Yeah, I would too. It's like if you're wearing one for running, I don't think it's necessary you wear one of the medical grade ones, because I just wear whatever meets the minimum requirement there, because I don't think it's going to hurt you to not. But you need to meet the requirement to run, so you have to wear a mask. Mickey said, hey Kelly, is that still around? Oh, the Flowbee, yeah. I haven't seen the Flowbee. Remember that was on TV. That was super cool. If I had a Flowbee, it would have been getting used here. I give my son haircuts. I don't do like scissor cuts. I can do fades and all that stuff, but so my hair had gone past the point where I could cut it. I was worried to do the scissor thing, but it was getting ready to all come off. Kelly said, I've been debating telling him that he keeps running his hands through his do and giving himself alfalfa. Okay. Yeah, I keep going like, so you guys notice that I do that. I've noticed that in the streams a lot. I take my hair and I pull it back. Now I don't have any hair, so I keep doing it. Now I kind of got the faux hawk going. It is what it is. It's not alfalfa. Alfalfa's in the back. It's like the baby, what they call it, the baby unicorn, or not baby unicorn, the baby rhino look, rhino horn. Oh, crying out loud. Goku Runner says, that's the last IG pic, you were looking scruffy. Yeah, I was looking rough. I was looking rough, and it was getting hot every run, so I had to do something. I finally broke down and went and paid someone to cut my hair, where I've been going for 20-something years now. I've been paranoid to go. I sit in a chair for 35, 40 minutes. They wore a mask and one of the face shields, so I feel comfortable. There was probably only 4 people in a room this size. It was probably, 120 feet by 30 feet. It's a big room, so I felt okay. I felt okay with it. Goku Runner says, I'm not paying full price for virtual. You missed the whole conversation, Goku. Yeah, I think we had some exceptions. So I think the consensus was, we don't want to pay full price for virtuals, but if it had a really good reason to, like paying for a good cause, going to charity somehow, that's acceptable. Or if it's competitive, like legit competitive, like you actually have something verifying the times and the terrain, I think there should be some sort of terrain handicapping or graded stuff. So if you have somebody who's running, 1,500 feet of vert, and then you have somebody who's running at the beach for the same race, like it's not fair to grade them against each other. So I think there's something cool that can be done there. But we agree. Kelly said, Amy, it was 91 degrees when I finished my fartlek run, and I have no idea, but that thing was hysterical. Yeah, it's been above most 90s most days. And the day that I ran with Skylar, my daughter, it was 75 degrees, but it was 100% humidity. Again, 100% humidity. I'd never seen that. I've seen it high 80s. I've seen it 90. I've never seen 100% humidity show up. And that's the Garmin. The Garmin gives me that data after I'm done. Crazy. But it felt like it. It felt very bad. Like it's like somebody wet the shirt, they're waterboarding you, and they wet the shirt and they put it over your face and you're trying to breathe through it. Amy said, I am thinking of doing the lion diet. Is that just like a strictly meat diet? You have to like chase after it and kill it and eat it? That's a tough one. Recycle on Wednesday said also, if you're getting that smothering wet blanket feeling, and this is a weird tip, sort of, pushing your lips together. Pushing your lips together can help. What do you mean, like when you're running, like pushing your lips together and just breathing through your nose? I don't know. That's weird. Yeah, if you got tips to help, love to hear them. Liam said, I guess I could get one of those running masks like ASICS makes, but haven't gotten around to getting one. Just got a poly mask. Yeah, anything, if you're running like cross country, so like I would think you really want something you can breathe in because you're running at a higher heart rate. That I couldn't imagine. You're definitely going to struggle running with a mask. Amy said, I'll be back in Florida next year and we'll be wishing for this weather. Yeah, it gets tough down there. Virginia is really bad. So I run in Florida and Virginia quite often every year, and I don't ever feel that Florida's worse. It's more of a dry heat, going from like Daytona Beach or like Tallahassee, the northern Florida. In Virginia, you get that. It could be 89, 90 degrees, but 90% humidity, and it's just unbearable. It's just unbearable. So I'll take the Florida heat over the Virginia heat sometimes, just because of the drier heat. Recycle on Wednesday said, I'm not sure how to describe what I do exactly, but basically, if I'm finding the mask is moving in and out when I'm breathing, I create a bit of tension to help. Okay, I got what you're saying. I actually felt that when I was in the meetings. I was just wearing the mask for hours in meetings, and the mask started to feel moist, and it started to get to the point where it was very uncomfortable to wear, especially all the talking you're doing, and that's why I'm saying I don't like wearing one at all. But it's a necessity. Goku Runner said 100% humidity is every morning in Texas. Yeah, this is the first time I'd actually seen it recorded. Like, there's the times I talk about it and people are like, well, 100% humidity is rain. Oh, okay, but like the day that, if you watch the video with me and Skylar running, like, I don't know if you can really see me very much in the video, but like I was soaked. Like I jumped into a pool. And that's like most times that I run. But when I first went out there, I was like, oh, it's 75 degrees. This is going to be great. But then as soon as you start running, you're like, okay, this is bad. It's super, super humid. Kelly said, great job on your ultra, Goku. That must have been rough. Yeah, congrats. Yeah. Are any ultras not rough? I think every one I've ever run is always rough. Recycle on Wednesdays, but that sucks for running. So you want to find a mask with enough structure that doesn't collapse without you doing anything. Absolutely. Kelly said, hey, John, on tonight, he just did that epic 3-peak challenge. Yeah, I want to talk to John about that. So I need to figure out a way of John, if he would come on. Once I figure that out, that would be cool to kind of talk about the 3-peak challenge. That sounds like an epic blast. Goku Runner said it cooled off for me. Kelly said, is that a bad thing that face looks unhappy? If you're in here, make sure you hit that thumbs up. We're at 11. We're usually close to 20. Slackers. I think I hit everything. Where are we? 6:11. All right. All right. So we passed our hour. I'm probably gonna hop off now. Go and take baby duty. I know my baby duty. That's probably a poor choice of words. Take over watching Adeline, so my wife can get some stuff done that she wants to get done, because she hasn't been able to do that at all today. Let me take another question. So Liam said, I went running a couple days ago, 5 miles at an easy pace, so not hard, but I was drenched when I came back home and got sweat all over the place. Yeah, that's me every single run. It's ridiculous. I have to hang all my clothes up outside. West Virginia Don said the Habanero 100 video up yet, Goku? Goku said, dang, hot here, too late. Have a good one, John, and everyone. Yeah, I appreciate everyone stopping in. Remember to hit that like button on the way out. Again, remember, we're live every Tuesday, 5 p.m. and I have some videos that I'm planning to put out. What week? Tuesday. Probably at least one more video this week. If you haven't seen the video, I released a video this morning on kind of my update, my week 29 and week 30 update for my Couch to Ultra Marathon training. It's a good one, so I think it's worth watching. So if you want to go watch that, you can watch that after this. I appreciate you all stopping here. It's been a great discussion today. Kelly said, I'm going to eat a delicious, juicy vegan bratwurst. Don't be jealous. You let me know how it is. You let me know how it is. I'm going to go eat some hamburgers. Good on you for taking over baby duty. Yeah, I got to go take over the baby duty. I wish I could show you a picture of Adeline. She had her hair sticking straight up today when I came home, and she looked like a little baby orangutan. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen. So I'm going to go play with her. She's a blast. Goku Runner said, where do you find music for YouTube vids? I use Epidemic Sound. So for those of you who don't know, I pay for some subscriptions for like sound, for all the music. So again, like when you guys do the super chats, that's where all that stuff goes. Like I pay for story blocks, the B-roll, the pictures. You guys, some videos you guys will see people running and stuff like that. That's not all me. I pay for a subscription service for B-roll footage and things like that, and I also pay for the Epidemic Sound, which has a really good library of music. So Goku, that's what I use. I've used it for years now. I think you get a discount if you use TubeBuddy, and I also use TubeBuddy for all my metrics, tracking, and all that stuff for my YouTube channel. Most of you don't care about any of this, but that's for Goku. Yeah. West Virginia Running Don said, thanks for all the nice comments on my 500 sub. Yeah, congrats, West Virginia Running Don, on 500 subscribers. You've been grinding away for a lot of years, so good on you. I'm happy for you. That's awesome. He said, thanks everyone. Congrats on that, Don. I can't believe I hadn't subscribed yet. Yeah, so if you guys are here, West Virginia Running Don, you got Goku Runner, other running channels. West Virginia Running Don has been part of my channel for going on 6 years now. He does a ton of running out in West Virginia, so if you guys feel obliged, you can go check him out and subscribe there. And the same with Goku Runner, both great guys that have been part of my channel for a very long time. Got a great tight-knit running community here, so I appreciate that. Read here. Have a good night, everyone, and hopefully here I can put on a virtual race soon, which I'm planning on doing. So. All right, let me go grab the baby. You guys have a good night. It's good seeing all of you, and be safe. And again, wear your masks. Be safe, and be kind to each other. And I will see you next Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. As always, thanks for watching, everybody. There was a need for me to hop back on here. You guys still here? The wife just texted me. I ordered tacos. So that's my night. This fancy street tacos too. These are good tacos, guys. So that's what I'm getting ready to go do. See? They're not vegan tacos either. They're real tacos. So I'm excited about that. I'm going to have some beer and tacos, and then I'll get my run-in tonight. So you guys have fun. Tacos, that's right. Yeah, that's the best text ever. Come on. I get to hang out with my family, a baby, eat tacos, and have a beer. So, come on, Kelly. Ruin the tacos with the tofu. All right. Love you guys. You guys be safe. Get your runs in. Put in the work this week, and we'll see you Tuesday. Next Tuesday. What is next Tuesday? 18th, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And hopefully my throat will feel better. And my baby unicorn horn it will be a little bit longer then. So remember to hit the like button. This has just gotten awkward now. I need to get off here. How am I going to do this? I got to click the button. And thanks for watching.